All right, guys, welcome back to Holographics Academy. So today, in the spirit of Valentine, we're going to be creating an amazing Valentine composite right here in Photoshop. Trust me, it's going to look really amazing. So we are going to be using these few assets right here to get a final result. And every single thing we're going to be using, you are going to be getting at the end of the day. So without wasting much of your time, let's quickly get started and see how much we can create with what we have. So the first thing I'm going to do on this image is to improve the lighting. I'm noticing that my object is quite dark and I want to brighten her up. So the first thing to do is I'm going to go to my curves adjustment layer. But instead of taking up my curves, to give her brightness, I'll just change the blend mode to screen. And immediately I'm going to have a very beautiful soft light flow around my whole image. So I can decide to leave it like this or reduce the exposure if I feel it's too exposed. So I'm just going to pull it down a little and we are good. So the next thing to do is to crop my image and separate her from the background. Of course, clean the background up. So to do that, I'm going to crop the image, right? Then I'm going to give her quite a good head zoom. And make sure that your film is turned on to content aware, not background. What is it called? Yeah, not background. So just turn your content aware fill on so that the moment you close up fills the rest of the spaces. Then press OK and wait for it. All right, it's done. So we'll have our object now in a very balanced frame, except for the fact that my background is looking messy. So to fix that, I'm going to use my rectangular marquee tool and just make a rough selection around it like this. And I'm going to minus this area because I want these areas to also be taken care of. Then check my art. It's cool. So I'm going to right click, go to select inverse. So it selects everything outside the box. Then I'm going to go to fill. Let's go to edit, content aware fill, so that we can see the preview of the result before we press enter. Good. I like that result. So press enter and we'll have a cleaned up backdrop. Very simple. The next thing to do is to give the background a very seamless look so that it looks like a seamless paper. And of course, we'll be able to play around with the shadows much more later. So I'm going to make a selection of my subject. Okay, so sorry, we are still in the content aware layer we rated. So just flatten that up. Select subject one more time. Good. Right click on it and go to select inverse. Now, I need you to do something. Zoom in a bit closer and make sure that your edges are perfect. We're losing our shoe here. Same thing over here. Then our flower, we can't afford to lose that. Look at this area as well. Good. So once you are done, make a duplicate of the background layer. Right click and go to layer viewport. So now we'll have our object on a separate layer and our background on a separate layer, except for the fact that my background is empty right here, which I did not want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load my selection of my object, right? Then stay on the background. Let's turn everything off. Stay on the background, go to select, go to modify, expand. So I'm going to be expanding by 11. So it pushes that selection out. Then go to edit, content aware fill. So just samples what we'll have in the background areas and use it to fill that area off. To press enter, you have a filled up background. So if we reload our object, we'll have our background perfectly fitting to what we want to fix. Right? So I'm going to use this layer here because this is actually where my shadow is. So I'm going to keep it right there. So the next thing to do is to smoothen out my background. Right? I'm going to go to filter, or rather we can actually leave it like that and work with this since we're not going to be working with blend modes today. So the next thing to do is to bring in your background. We'll start bringing in our composites one after the other. So the first thing I want to bring in is this one right here. So to extract it, I'm just going to go around. So this is in an opposite color and a definite edge, so it's easier to just go around. Press Ctrl J Sorry, right click to select everyone. So select the box. Press Ctrl J to cut it out. Now I can move it around. I'll just place it over my objects like this. And of course, scale it in because I want it looking like she is standing right inside there. Nice one. Press OK. So the next thing I want to do is to make it look really like it's in this composite and she's standing there. So there are a few things that can allow us to achieve that. Number one, lightning. Number two, shadow. So the first thing I'll do is I'm going to bring down the exposure of that. Go to your curves, create a clipping mask, clip it to the box, and just bring down the brightness. So once you bring it down, you notice that the edges start showing up even more definitely. Then for the shadow, I'm going to double click on my object, click on drop shadow. Once you click on drop shadow, it's going to create a shadow for you, right? Looking at the direction of the lightning is coming from my left to my right. So the shadow should fall exactly where it is right now, except that some areas are looking unrealistic like this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press OK and convert that shadow into a several layer so we can apply a mask on it. How do you do that? Very simple. Go to the shadow, right click on it. You're going to see create layer. Once you click on create layer and press OK, it's going to create that shadow as a layer. Now we can create a mask over that shadow. Pick up our brush. Sorry, I'm still in my hard custom brush. Pick up a soft airbrush and just, remove that shadow where it's not supposed to. So I think I like what I have here. Beautiful. Of course, you can reduce the opacity if you feel it's too much. You can reduce the opacity to make it look very much realistic. So the next thing I want to do, you can as well create a shadow for the box, right? Let's create a shadow for it. Drop shadow, just drop it on the floor right there, just like this. So when you look at it, we need to keep it hard. So reduce the spread, drop it right on the floor, and now gradually soften it out. If that to stay too much, it's not giving us that brown contact that we want. Okay, so I think this works for me. If it doesn't work, we can as well come back later and make adjustments. I can as well create it as a layer because I feel I need to create a mask there. So create a layer for it, create a mask for it, pick up your brush and just remove the shadow from these edges. Sorry. Just remove the shadow from this areas. So just have it on the floor. So this is nice shot. See it before and after. So I actually created the mask for the wrong piece. This is where I should have created my mask. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to bring in our main background. And how do we do that? Very simple. Remember, everything you are going to be doing beneath the shadow, beneath the box, beneath the object, so that all of them will be filling and fitting in. So the next thing we'll bring in is our background, and this is the background we're going to be using. So I'm going to pick up my movie tool and unlock the layer, drag it over to my object, and place it right behind everything. Then I'll scale it in. Just like this. Just like that. Press OK. I'm going to bring down the exposure. Nice one. So I think my shadow over here is beginning to look too rough. So I need to move it around a little and also blur it out a little bit as well. So the next thing I want to bring into the composite is my rose petals. So that it gives us that Valentine red feel, love, fight, and all of that. So I'm going to go into here and just use my move tool to move it and drag it over to the object, right? You just scale it in and fill it where you wish. So we'll have these ones here. Press OK. I'm going to duplicate it and make the other one smaller. I'll probably place it in here. Make a duplicate and move another one over to the scale. right? The next thing I want to do is I want to make some rose petals fall, right? Like they chew it up. So I'm going to make a duplicate, drag one over here, and place it above all the layers so that it's directly over here. Then I'm going to flip it, Ctrl T, flip horizontally, and I'm going to scale it out. Does make it look like it's falling. Scale it towards camera. Beautiful. Then we need to blur it out. Go to your filter, blur or shadow blur. Blur it out a little bit as well. So you can just move it around to make sure it is not covering any part of our image. Like that. Press OK. So the next thing I want to do is I want to color grade my skin tone and then create a global color grade. I think I need to relook that. That is not looking so nice for me. Just maybe on the dress, right? Yeah, the look it right here, and for the hair as well. Okay. So I'll make a selection of the skin tone of my object. To do that, press Ctrl J on your object layer, create a mask, go to select, go to color range. So it just tries as much as it can to select your skin tone. Press OK. Now we'll have the mask selected. Then go to your solid color and load up the skin tone color you want to use. So I'm going to visit this, use the mask and replace it. The moment to do that is going to cover the whole skin with that solid color. So I'm going to change the blend mode to color first of all. I need to brighten it up a little. So we go to brightness. I just push up on tone. Press OK. Still reduce it. Then press Ctrl J, change the second one to soft light. I think I need to replace that a little bit. So once all of this is done, the next thing we want to do is I want to create a global color really for the image. I feel I need to remove this rose petal over here. It's distracting. So just take it out. So let's create a global color grading for everything we have here. Go to color lookup and find a very fitting color for our composite. This is beautiful. Let's keep going. I think I'm going to stick with this. I love the way the reds are popping and all of that. So just drop it down a little bit. So there is something that is missing out in this particular one. The shadows of my object. She's not having her shadows there. So I'm going to come and restore the shadows. To do that, just pick up the layer where the shadow was removed. You're right. I think this is where the shadow is. So press Ctrl J, drag it all the way up. Keep it directly here. Change the blend mode to multiply. Then create a mask for it. Pick up the brush and just restore it back to the floor. Like that. You have those shadows properly restored and your object is touching the floor. Perfect. So the last thing I want to do is to go into my camera raw filter and just play around with the colors and make sure we have something very, very, very definite. So press Ctrl Shift Alternate E to create a stamp physical layer. Go to filter, go to your camera raw filter. And just play with your HDR a little bit. So just drop this down a bit. Open up our shadows, create a contrast. And maybe cool it down a bit. Right, then go into my saturation, blue primaries, and shop some reds and bases. So I think my blues are too much. I actually wanted to have a very white theme. So I'm going to drop down the blues. I don't want it looking cool. So just drop it down a little bit. Then for my hat, I want it towards a green tint. So I'm going to just push the hues of that particular color over there towards something I can use. So this is our gaze there. So press OK and be hooked to go. The last thing I want to do is to apply my done for you retouch action so that it brings everything we have done together and the jaw is stopped. So I'm going to flatten everything up like this. Can go to my action, click on done for you retouch action. I'll just apply it over the image, keep it somewhere around 3 or 2, press OK. And it just takes care of your skin, the before, the after, the before, the after. Let me merge everything up and create a snapshot so I can show you the overall before and after of everything we have done. This is the before right here. This is the before, this is the after, this is the before, this is the after. Thank you so much for watching this amazing video. Do make sure subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you subscribe, click on the notification bell to get notified every single time we drop the new video. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one.